Most parents believe tantrums are a discipline problem. They think the child is being difficult, disrespectful, out of control. So they try to correct it. They raise their voice. They threaten consequences. They take things away. But what if that belief is completely wrong? What if most parenting struggles are not caused by bad behavior, but by something happening inside the child's brain? A child cries, yells, or shuts down without understanding why their emotions feel so intense. A parent stands there confused and exhausted, wondering why nothing they try seems to work anymore. This moment happens in millions of homes every single day. And for a long time, parents blame themselves or blame the child. Until one parenting book changed the conversation completely. It didn't ask parents to become stricter. It didn't ask children to behave better. It asked parents to understand how the brain actually works. That book is called The Whole Brain Child. And once parents understood this idea, they never looked at parenting the same way again. Chapter 1. The mistake almost every parent makes. It's late evening, the house is tired, everyone's patience is low. A simple request turns into resistance. Resistance turns into frustration. Frustration turns into a meltdown. From the outside, it looks like defiance, but from the inside, something else is happening. Most parents were taught that discipline means control. Control the child. Control the situation. Control the outcome. But children are not small adults. They don't have the emotional tools adults have. They don't have the brain wiring adults rely on. Yet we expect them to act rational, calm, and reasonable in moments when even adults struggle. So parents react to behavior without understanding the cause behind it. And that's the mistake. Because behavior is the signal, not the problem. Chapter 2. What's really happening inside a child's brain? This book explains something most parents were never taught. A child's brain develops in stages. The emotional reactive part develops first. This part handles fear, anger, and survival. The logical, self-controlling part develops much later. This part handles reasoning, planning, and impulse control. So when a child is calm, both parts work together. But when emotions take over, the logical part shuts down. That's why reasoning doesn't work during a meltdown. That's why lectures fail. That's why punishments escalate emotions instead of calming them. In that moment, the child is not refusing to cooperate. They are incapable of it. They are overwhelmed. And when parents understand this, everything shifts. The goal is no longer to stop the behavior. The goal becomes helping the brain reconnect. Chapter 3. Why yelling and punishment make things worse? When parents feel powerless, they often turn to control. Yelling feels immediate. Punishment feels firm. Silence feels like authority. But a stressed brain doesn't learn. It defends itself. When a child feels threatened, their brain goes into survival mode. They stop listening. They stop processing. They stop learning. Instead of understanding limits, they learn fear. Instead of learning regulation, they learn avoidance. Over time, this creates children who either explode or completely shut down. Not because they are broken, but because their nervous system never learned safety. This book made one thing very clear. Discipline without emotional safety teaches obedience, not growth. Chapter 4. The shift that changed everything. This is where the whole brain child changed parenting forever. Before correction, there must be connection. Before teaching, there must be calm. When parents slow down and acknowledge emotions, something powerful happens. The child feels understood. Their nervous system relaxes. Their brain begins to reconnect. Simple words make a big difference. This feels hard. You're frustrated. I see how upset you are. These words don't excuse behavior. They stabilize the brain. Once the child feels safe, guidance becomes possible. This is not permissive parenting. It's neurological parenting. It's working with the brain, not against it. And this one shift is why millions of parents say this book completely changed how they raise their children. Chapter 5. Emotions are not the enemy. Most parents grow up believing that good children are calm children. quiet children, easy children. So when anger shows up, when sadness lingers, when fear takes over, parents rush to shut it down. Stop crying. Calm down. You're okay. But the whole brain child explains something different. Emotions are not problems to eliminate. They are signals to understand. When children are told their emotions are wrong, they don't learn control. They learn shame. They begin to believe that certain feelings are unacceptable, that parts of themselves need to be hidden. Over time, this creates children who smile on the outside but struggle silently on the inside. But when emotions are allowed and guided, children learn something powerful. Feelings rise, feelings pass, and they can survive them. That understanding builds emotional strength that lasts far beyond childhood. Chapter 6. Discipline that teaches, not terrifies. This book never argues against discipline, it redefines it. Discipline is not about fear, it's about learning. Rules still matter, boundaries still matter. But how they are delivered matters even more. When limits are set with empathy, children don't feel attacked. They feel guided. They learn that emotions are allowed, but certain behaviors are not. This balance creates safety. The child doesn't have to choose between being loved and being honest about how they feel. They can be both emotional and responsible. That is how discipline becomes a lesson, not a threat. Chapter 7. Raising a child who trusts their inner voice. Over time, children raised this way begin to change. They recover faster from emotional moments. They reflect instead of react. They begin to pause before acting. Not because they fear punishment, but because they understand themselves. They start recognizing their own emotions. They name them. They manage them. And slowly, a child learns something priceless. I can trust myself. That inner confidence doesn't come from praise. It comes from experience. From being allowed to feel, fail, and recover with guidance instead of control. These children don't grow up perfect. They grow up resilient. Final thought. Why this book changed parenting forever. The whole brain child didn't give parents a script to follow. It gave them a lens to see through. Children are not problems to solve. They are developing brains to support. Parenting is not about winning power struggles. It's about building connection. And when connection comes first, discipline stops being a daily battle and becomes a long-term investment. This book changed how millions of parents raise their kids because it changed how they understand them. If this video made you think, share it with someone who's parenting right now. And if you want more content inspired by life-changing parenting books, subscribe. I'll see you next time.